It's about to get real. Haha. Welcome back to another episode of TheRealDru Podcast. Recap from my opinion on sports and everyday life. Excited to be back. Let's jump into it. So, first thing I want to get into is the Trae Young trade. Just happened between Washington and Atlanta. Trae Young went to Washington Wizards, and the Hawks got what some people may seem as not enough back for Trae Young, but to me it makes sense, and I'm gonna break it down to you on why it makes sense. So Trae Young went to the Wizards, and CJ McCollum and Corey Kispert went to Atlanta Hawks. The reason why the Hawks made this trade is because they have found a new emerging star in Jalen Johnson, which, if you've been watching the Hawks play, dude is a monster. I'm a triple-double every night. 6'10", can do anything. Who wouldn't want to build around that? And he's younger. He's probably, I think he's 24, 23, 24, somewhere around there. So that's their new franchise centerpiece. They're rocking with him. The reason they didn't keep Trae Young is because he is up for a contract extension. They don't want to pay him what they're going to be paying Jalen Johnson. So the move was to move him to another team where he can have his own franchise still and be the guy, which is in Washington. They don't have nobody. Now the reason for taking CJ, he has a big contract right now, but it's expiring, and he ain't gonna have to renew it next year. So snatch him up, and then Corey Kispert, he's young, he's a great shooter, can play a pretty good role. So that was the reason for both sides. How does it affect each team long term? Like I just told you, Washington gets their. So it's kind of crazy because they're so young too, but they get their franchise piece besides Alexander Sarr. You compare them two together now, Alexander Sarr and Trae Young. Get the nice pick and roll together, or however they're gonna work their game plan. But it's a great partnership they just put together. And Atlanta gets that cap space free for building around Jalen Johnson now. They're gonna have that more money. They're gonna make it work. Corey Kispert, great role player, implement him into the rotation and get him going. So, y'all let me know my opinion. I think Trae Young should have stayed in Atlanta. I think he should have went somewhere else. I can see why he chose DC, but at the same time, it's like DC ain't been popping in a long time since John Wall was there. So, can he change it around? And we're gonna find out. Y'all let me know what y'all think though in the comments, and let me know how it's gonna work out, what y'all think is gonna happen. I think for the rest of this year, Washington, they're still going to be sinking. Trae Young's, they're going to wait till he get fully healthy. He's still dealing with some injuries. Maybe come back to the end of the year for a little bit just to get a feel for the team. But he's going to be shelved for the most part the rest of this season until next year where they're going to be trying to actually contend. They're not contending this year. It's not happening. As for Atlanta, I've still been watching the recent games. I'm not super impressed. Like I said, they're trying to build around Jalen Johnson, so maybe they're going to make some more moves in free agency and offseason when it comes. But right now, they're still just the middle of the pack team. They're not competing for championship. They're not winning nothing out the East. I mean, and that says a lot because the East is not even that good this year. So I don't know if this really helped them. So we're going to see. We're going to see. Let me know what y'all think. All right, moving on. Let's look at the Ja Morant potential landing spots. So if you've been watching, Ja ain't been happy in Memphis. It's just been a lot going on. It's been it hasn't just happened all of a sudden either. It's been playing out from him and his legal issues, unfortunately, to them criticizing every single move he makes now because of his past mistakes. We all make mistakes. I feel like we all should be given a restart, but as long as we're showing that we're trying to change, I don't know what's going on in the works, but I'm assuming he's trying to change. But maybe Memphis is just done with him, and I think he's done with them. But let's look at the potential landing spots. The three, I think, Timberwolves, he'd be a monster with Anthony Edwards. And then going to Miami with Bam, Norman Powell, and those guys. I think the discipline that Miami has would be great for Ja, as it will cut out distractions. Not saying he needs discipline, but it cuts out the distractions around him. Pat Riley has a real tight knot around the Heat. Not a lot of room for errors. or mistakes, so they keep everything nice and tight. And then my third landing spot for him, I think, will be the Houston Rockets. I think Houston needs a point guard. Ja Morant's a point guard. They had Fred VanVleet, but he got hurt. So if you want something now that y'all can really compete in the West, get Ja Morant. Now, these are my scenarios for what you have to give up for him. For the Rockets, Memphis is going to be in rebuild mode, so they're going to need somebody young, somebody that can nurture and build into their roster. I think Reed Shepherd will be a nice addition. Reed Shepherd, and maybe add in Tari Eason and possibly maybe a future draft pick, first round, of course, for Ja Morant. Those three things for Ja, I think, will be adequate enough for them to be like, yeah, let's talk business. Let's do that. They could fit them well as well. I think Tari Eason fits that grit and grind of Memphis. They love the defense. And he still can give them some decent scoring. And then Reed Shepherd, he's young. He can shoot the ball real good. He's learning the point guard responsibilities. He's getting the feel for everything. I think Reed Shepherd would be nice over there in Memphis to get his own feet. Get his own feel, start to try to get his own team, and just run that point guard spot. And that's if Houston goes for it. I think that would be a great trade package. Now let's look for the Miami Heat. If he was to go to Miami, Ja Morant was to go to Miami. They got to give up something. I think they got to give up Tyler Hero. You're not giving up Bam. You're not giving up Andrew Wiggins. You want your core still there, but Tyler Hero, unfortunately, is the odd man out because he's been hurt this year. And he's still young. And Norman Powell has jumped into that position and has flourished in it. I think you give up Hero for Ja Morant. Straight up trade. If they don't want straight up, then maybe Miami has to add a draft pick in there. But I think straight up is fine. Tyler Hero for Ja Morant. Like I said before, Miami has that structure around their team where I think it would be great for Ja. Tyler Hero going to Memphis, I think he'll hoop in Memphis. There's nobody there to steal his shots. System can be built around him and Triple J. I think that would be a great fit. The third team I mentioned was Minnesota. Minnesota would be, oh my goodness, I think this would have them be like top three teams, not top two, because we still got Denver, OKC, and Spurs out there. They'd be top 5 for sure. Maybe even top 4. If you add Ja Morant to the Minnesota Timberwolves with Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards and Ja is complete Showtime must-see TV. The only problem is you gotta give up some of your future for Ja. You'll probably trade package deal I put together would be Rob, maybe Mike Conley, and they're gonna want somebody else. Maybe throwing a Leonard Miller, or something like that, or Jalen Clark or Terrence Shannon. One of them gotta go. But if you don't send on people, you send Rob and Mike Conley, maybe a draft pick for Ja. I think that's enough right there. Considering Ja has been hurt a lot. Rob is he's a superstar waiting to get to a team where he can just flourish and do what he needs to do. We know Rob Dillingham is a bucket. Come on now. Anywhere he goes, he'll bucket. And then Mike Conley, he's familiar with Memphis's system anyways. So send him back there. Let him retire there. We're getting close to the end. Send him to Memphis. Let him finish off his career. And let him rock out. So that's my idea. Ja to Minnesota for Rob and Mike in the draft pick. Or Ja to Miami for Tyler Hero. Straight up swap. And the last one could be Ja Morant to Houston for Reed Shepherd, Tari Eason, maybe a draft pick. My favorite out of all those who I would like to see him on, though, I gotta say Minnesota. You seeing Ja Morant and Anthony Edwards just flourish for years to come? Dunks, alley-oops, 3-point shots made in the clutch. Like, we know what Ja can do. And then you got Anthony Edwards, who's a prominent star. He's a superstar. Plain and simple. That'd be amazing. Now, let me know what y'all think down low, man. Where y'all want to see Ja go? What could we trade for him? Yeah. All right. Moving on. We got some NFL game predictions. Last week was the first week of NFL games. A lot of games happened. My voice cracked right there. But a lot of games happened, man. And that's our last 8 teams and divisional round. So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be nothing but good games because obviously these are the better teams that should have won last week. They're here. So I'm gonna give y'all the games that's gonna be happening and who I think will win, and y'all let me know what y'all think afterwards. So first game I got the Bills and the Broncos. It's really just Josh Allen versus the Broncos in a sense. Not to say the Bills are a bad team because they got James Cook out there. He still got a decent wide receiver core, but Josh Allen makes everything go for that team. The issue he's going to have this week going against the Broncos, they're number 2 defense in the league. And they also have a decent offense. They're not the best. They have a decent offense, though. They're like middle of the pack. So, in my opinion, whoever have the least amount of turnovers is going to win this game. And I know y'all saying, well, duh. But no, literally, because Josh Allen can score, but we know he could turn the ball over too sometimes because sometimes he tries to do it all. But the Broncos had a number 2 defense. And they have a decent offense. So their offense, if they can just stay on pace, kick a couple field goals, get a couple touchdowns, they're good. It's going to take a lot for Josh Allen to get past that Broncos defense. That defense is top tier. So if Bills get behind early, it's going to be hard for them to get back in that game because Broncos are just going to game manage it at that point. Like, all right, we ain't got to go too hard. We don't want to give Josh Allen too many chances. But y'all let me know y'all think going to win the Bills and Broncos. It's going to be a good one, though. The next game I got on here to discuss is the 49ers versus Seahawks. We all know what the 49ers are going to bring. They're rough and rugged. And Brock Purdy is balling. It's time to put him in that elite QB conversation for sure. It's been time. It's past time, actually. Brock Purdy has been doing his thing. He has exceeded his expectations. And their defense, as many injuries they have, they still look like they haven't lost a step. So that's scary for any team going against. The Seahawks, they're a good team. They have a decent offense for sure. Defense is okay. However, they must stay mistake-free. You got Kyle Shanahan coaching the 49ers, one of the best coaches out there. If the Seahawks are just turning this ball over, if Sam Darnold cannot hold on to this ball and make the right reads and be damn near perfect, it's going to be a long day for them Seahawks. Long day. Because the 49ers are not going to let up. They're relentless. And they're trying to knock your head off every chance you get. And when they get the ball, they can be very precise in how they're handling it. They can run the ball. They can pass the ball. Brock Purdy can make plays on his feet and throwing. It's going to be hard to stop that. I got the 49ers winning that game. Yeah. Y'all let me know what y'all think about that. Next game, we got the Texans versus the Patriots. Texans, we all seen their defense. If you haven't, I want to let you know that they're number 1 defense in the league. They're elite. Like, elite. They remind me of Baltimore Ravens, Ray Lewis, them guys. They're elite. Their offense has been struggling, though. Mainly due to their quarterback, CJ Stroud, and I think it's some mess with the O-line. They're not communicating properly, but CJ he's been seeming rattled. I love CJ Stroud. You see the O-State ball right there. He's been seeming rattled lately, though. He has to be mentally prepared for this game and lock in. It's the playoffs, so I know anxiety is going to be high, but he has to stay mentally locked in. If he doesn't, it's going to be a long night because the Patriots have a really good defense. Really good defense, and they have a really good offense. They're probably one of the best, well-rounded teams in the playoffs right now, with Drake May balling in that defense on standing on all 10 on every play. I want the Texans to win, but if I'm being honest, the Patriots, in my opinion, will probably win this game. If CJ's not on this game, if CJ plays well, Texans, because that defense is immaculate. But if they do not, and CJ does not show up, then Texans will be going home. Next game I got is the Rams, number 1 offense in the regular season, going against the Bears. They're one of the worst defensive teams in the regular season, which is scary. However, Caleb Williams has been balling. slinging the rock. You see what they did to the Packers last week. They came back. So you can't count them out. However, the Rams are seasoned. Matthew Stafford back there, Devontae Adams, Puka Nacua. Them boys are balling. Their defense is all right, too. I don't think this one would be really close, in my opinion. I don't want to count the Bears out, but I'm counting the Bears out. The Rams, I got the Rams winning that game. No specific score for these, but these are just my predictions. I got the Bills winning the first game, as long as Josh Allen does his thing. 49ers, I got to be realistic. I love you, CJ boy, but Patriots winning that third game, and then the last game, Rams. I got the Rams winning that. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Who's going to win these games? Yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. We can talk about it. Let's discuss. My last topic I want to talk about is forgiving. With family, we're more forgiving, and we try to forget things a lot. What I want to say is it's okay to forgive your family, but don't forget. They're, in a sense, it's almost like every other person. You can forgive them. You know, people make mistakes. I'm all for mistakes and people trying to fix it. But just don't forget it. You know, I'm not saying throw it in their face. I'm just saying in the back of your mind, know who that person is and what they showed you, who they are. And don't forget it. Don't forget it at all. And with family, a lot of people will be like, well, they're your family. You got to keep them around. You can't just cut family off. No, I want you to put your peace first. Put your immediate family first now. You can love your family still, but you don't have to allow bad people or people that make very bad decisions to stay in your life. This is your life. You don't have to allow that. You know, obviously think long and hard on your decisions because decisions have consequences, but you don't have to keep people around that make you uneasy, that make you have to watch what you say around them. Obviously, we're treating everybody with respect, and you want to say respectful things, but you might trigger them if you say something that they don't like, but you're not. They take it out of context all the time. You know, people that are unappreciative, people that are ungrateful. You don't have to keep that in your life. Don't do it. Don't stress about it. Do what's best for you. Like I said, you can forgive people. It's best to forgive them. Because if not, it's going to be on your mind. It's going to hurt you more than them. But just don't forget what they did. Remember it. Let it sit with you. And you make your decision on that. But always try to forgive. Whether that's immediate family, outside family, once you're not as close with, or our friends, or, acquaintances. Forgive, but don't forget. And yeah, that's it for TheRealDru Podcast, man. I'm back. It feels good to be back. I had a long time off. It's been a lot going on. I get into that on another episode. But yeah, I appreciate y'all rocking with me and sticking with me. And we back.